Hey, 392, this is Chaos Raven from the Chaos Marauders. So, I want to talk to you a little bit about Clash of Provinces and our current state of affairs. Before I get started, though, I want to say that I'm not an expert. I've only played for a month. There's a lot more experienced players out there. I'm pretty good at games and stuff. I've done my research to an extent. But this is kind of a general guide because I've gotten asked, I don't know how many times, probably 100, about Clash of Provinces and how it works. So I just figured I'd make a video, quick synopsis of it. So if we go into events here and we go to Clash of Provinces, you'll see our current scoring here, up here, and the current event that each individual person is tasked with, which can vary on the 7th day right here where you can select it. Right now we're currently way ahead, and I think that's partially due to the fact that they are trying to throw because they don't want to go to Gold League. Now, that's the subject I want to touch on because that's really important for us right now. If you go to competition ranking, right, and you pull up the wins and losses, you'll see our state here. We currently have 2 wins. We're also the youngest or the highest numbered state in all of these states in our grouping. And we're going against 389, which is the other guy that, has 2 wins. So we're at a standpoint where we need to lose, otherwise we'll go to gold. Why is it important that we don't go to gold? I get asked a lot, like, well, we can just go to gold and that's fine. And it is kind of fine, but it's not, because a lot of players like to have fun, and the 6th day where we get to kill each other is a lot of fun for people, and the same with the 7th day. So I'll explain why that's not going to be possible if we go to Gold League, and we'll be stuck there for at least a month. So if we go to these other groups down here, you can look at other gold rankings, right? So let's look at this group here, and you can look at other silver rank groups too. But let's just go to an example. I don't know how you get matched up, but I'll just take the lowest group here. That wasn't the lowest group. This is the lowest group. So you look at here, and you got a lot of variation in the states here. You got as low as 17 and high as 353, which probably isn't terribly much younger than us, or older than us, I mean. But if we go to like state 17, for example, this is what I say, that it's not going to be possible to really win or at least fight on the 6th and 7th day, which is really, it's kind of fun. I like to go around and fight other states. If we go back here, I already kind of prepped it, but like state 17, for example, yeah, look at it, we got a bunch of jokers, but they're worse because this guy's got 256 million power. This guy, he has 156 million, like 171, 41, that guy's a little bit lower, but still stronger than everybody in our state except maybe Joker. Well, it's probably still stronger than Joker. And they're just on a different level. You look at their farms. Their farms are basically higher than most of our state. Their farms could farm us. Yeah. So you can see they're on a different level. They have a lot of coordination. They'll be able to manipulate us however they see fit. When they want to win, they'll win. When they want to lose, they'll lose. And if they're that manipulative, we could get stuck there for a while. I'm not exactly sure how the D-ranking system works after a month, but I would assume that you have to lose all the week to do that. Well, if somebody wants us to force us to win, we might get stuck there longer. So it's really not optimal. If we want to have fun and farm the younger states, like another 390 or something, and, kick their butt, then, and have fun, we want to be able to do that. We can't do that in gold. Now, so let's look at the events here, because there's a lot of questions about that usually. Now, there is an optimal way to lose. Now, we're already kind of past that point, in my opinion, because we should have done that in the 1st or 2nd week if we wanted to lose a week. Now we're at a critical point where we're at versus another state that they want to lose as well. So they're going to be trying to lose, and that's apparent from the score already. They're trying to lose. It's not that we're kicking their butt. We are, but that's because they're letting us. Let's be honest here. And they're already at an advantage. You know. Now the optimal way that people say to do this is you lose the first, or you win the first 5 days because they're only worth 1 point, and then the SVS portion, the KE fighting portions, 3 days or 3 points for the first day and 1 point for the second, depending on what you pick. That's 4, and then the Heroes Duel makes it 6. So you would win the majority of the week and then lose just a couple events, and you get more of the prizes. The problem is, we're the youngest state. It's hard to coordinate that, and especially now we're against a state that is trying to lose on purpose. We have to make sure that we do it better than them. There's no guarantee in that we're going to be able to just lose, or just lose the weekend, because they're going to try to do that as well. And we already saw that even though we weren't prepared against 388, they tried to lose, and we got very close to being able to lose too, but they still won in the end. Or I should say they lost in the end. So that's why we're at this point. Now, one thing that is kind of a wild card, and people are like, well, we can just throw the Heroes Duel. It's easy. Well, the problem is, it's not completely easy if the other state is trying to do the same thing. Now let's look at Heroes Duel real quick, because there's a couple things with it. Now people are like, well, you just take everything off, and then you have low power levels, and that's it, and we'll lose. Well, that's not exactly how it works. From my understanding, there is probably more to it, but basically it's all about seeding. The defender is the one that loses, and the attacker is the one that wins. Now what I mean by that is when they're naked. So when they take everything off, right? So for example here, Joker versus Sky, the defender loses. Now some people are like, well, he only won because of this gear UI glitch. He would have won regardless, because everybody that is in the attacker row, they win. What determines the attacker row, you ask? Well, I know that there is some consistencies with, up on the top brackets, the right side are the attackers. So Hunter was the attacker in this, and Joker was the attacker here. Defender, defender. Over here, you got the gorilla guy. He was the attacker, and the other guy from 388 here, he was the attacker. And when they got up to the next bracket, the defender here, Zara, and the Satanic Papa here, he was the attacker. So when they were both naked, and we actually coordinated this round, I talked to Zara and Joker at this point, and I told them to strip their gear. Now, if you look at the battle report, you actually see that caught them off guard a little bit. They didn't expect that, because this guy actually didn't go fully naked in the first round. But he was the attacker anyways. So even if he did, he would have lost. Or I should say he would have won in this case. So when he did strip all his gear, he still won. Because that's how it works. The defenders lose, the attackers win. Now what determines it here? It could be just how the brackets are set up. Maybe when it comes in at the bottom here, the bottom is the defender and the top is the attacker. I'm not sure. I would have had to look at the other weeks and just to try to verify that, but they weren't naked in those events anyways. But here, he did what he could. He took his gear off, but he was the attacker, so it doesn't matter. Does power come into that? From what I can tell, no, but that doesn't mean it doesn't. But I talked to Joker anyways. He's going to take off his gear in the prelim rounds, and he's not going to make it to the end anyways. So let's go back to the Clash Props. So that's 2 points. That's important, but it's a wild card. Like if they take all their gear off at the beginning and they get the seeding a certain way, then we could just lose anyways. I mean, that's kind of like a 50-50 there, from what I can tell. So do you really want to risk winning this week so we can get greedy and win these events and then try to lose these events when they're trying to lose, like, that's really risky. And from my viewpoint, why risk that? Like, we risk losing a few boxes for a week, which is not a big deal. I wish Sunday we would have lost, then we could have, you know, tried as hard as we wanted this week against a different state, but we didn't. So now this week we have to lose. Otherwise it's going to be really shitty for, you know, a month, and that's not fun. But if we look here, like, they're gonna lose this day. We should start throwing the rest of the days, because if we get to this point, we can't. If we win all these days up to this point, we have to lose these, and they're gonna try to lose. So, I mean, that's my take on it. I'm not going to get any points the rest of this week. I don't want to be part of the problem when it comes down to the end of the week and we weren't able to lose. I'm not that greedy to be like, I have to get my boxes, because in the long run, we are going to get a lot more boxes if we can play smart. You know, we're going to not get the total rewards that you get from winning events, because we're going to lose when we go up to gold every day, you know. So that's my take on it. Take it as you will. You know, it's not a perfect idea, but I think it's a solid idea. I think we should just start losing the rest of the week. Why risk it? You know, I want to have fun in this game. I like to fight other states. You think I might be passive because I don't fight a lot, but when it comes to fighting the other states, I like to throw down, and I like to take Joker around with me and fight people too. So yeah, if you got any comments, you know, feel free to share them. I just made this quick video. It's not going to be edited or anything. Sorry about that. I don't have the time to do this. I got work and everything. So yeah, good luck, 392.